Good morning and welcome to St. Peter's Episcopal Church in downtown Salisbury, Maryland. This is our hymn of the day, and I'm Daniel Cherrix, the director of music. This morning's hymn is one of our hymns that we will sing this coming Sunday at 9 a.m., our 9 o'clock service. It's 534 in the hymnal 1982, God is Working His Purpose Out. The text is by an English hymn writer, educator, written in 1894, this text was, and it's so apropos, timeless even, by Arthur Campbell Angier, perhaps, A-I-N-G-E-R, Angier, if you're French maybe, Angier. It was written as a tribute to the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Most Reverend Edward White Benson. The original tune for this hymn was written at the very same time specifically for the text. However, as time has marched on, other tunes have been written for this one, like this tune called Purpose by Martin Shaw, another Englishman. We'll talk about him in just a minute. The scriptural basis for this hymn comes out of the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14, where the prophet says, "For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea." And you'll notice if you look at this hymn, that refrain comes back and wraps up each of the four stanzas. When the earth shall be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. Also, the writer, the hymn writer, pulls in a little reference to Philippians 2, verse 12 through 13, in that God works in humanity to act according to God's will and God's purpose. The composer of this tune, Purpose, that we have in the hymnal 1982, was written by Martin Shaw. He was OBE, which means an Order of the British Empire. He was a FRCM, which means a Fellow of the Royal College of Music. He was born in 1875, died in 1958. English composer, conductor. In his early life, he was a theater producer. 300 published works to his name, including songs, hymns, carols, oratorios, instrumental works, a congregational setting of the Mass called the Anglican Folk Mass. I just found that out, and I can't wait to see what that's about. And also 4 operas. So Mr. Shaw comes from an eccentric, artistic, musical family of composers, organists, actors, and educators. He's rather fascinating if you read anything about him. He delighted in calling himself a Cockney. You've heard of Cockneys in England. Under the classical definition that anyone born within the sound of the Bow Bells, St. Mary's bells, is classified as a Cockney. Anyway, that was one of his great delights. I encourage you to look him up. I'm not going to go into all the interesting things about him right now, but it's worth looking up. A very interesting guy. So here we have a text from the late 1800s, late 19th century, and a tune composed in the early 20th century for this text. Thank you for being here. Great hymn, great tune. As you see there in the post right before this broadcast, all four of these stanzas can be sung in canon, which even adds to the excitement and drama. All right, thank you for being here. At noon, please join us for a service of Eucharist with healing. And tomorrow, join us back at 11 a.m. for Taylor Harvey and an improvisation. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again at noon.